Hey guys, so walking Bailey, and I decided to loop her leash around my waist so I can be hands-free, and it's tight, but it is easier than her yanking me when she sees a squirrel. But I had someone ask me the other day, yesterday, Bailey, we're going this way. Kind of like how I dealt with losing friends, and it was kind of hard for me to answer at first because my whole childhood I didn't really socialize a whole bunch because I was A, doing homework, B, playing sports, and honestly that was it. And my mom kind of kept from me that a lot of the parents at my elementary school and lower school, I went to Westminster from 3-day, well, I did 5-day twice, I didn't do 3 days. So from when I was 4 to 8th grade, so I went there for 11 years. And well, actually I was 3. But my mom didn't tell me that a lot of the parents didn't let their kids come over and hang out with me because I had a single mom, and they didn't want their children being around them, I guess. So the few people who would hang out with me, I guess, I had a couple guy friends growing up that were like my best friends from when I was really little to as I got older. If you look back at my birthday parties, it's me, 2 girls, and then 6 guys, or I was the one girl invited to the guys' birthday parties and stuff. But this was when we were 2nd, 1st grade, stuff like that. And so I honestly can remember 2 or 3 girlfriends I had when I was younger, and one around middle school time. But one of my closest best girlfriends that I had growing up, her name was Javi, and you probably have heard of Javi. Javi was a miracle. She was a miracle baby. Her parents weren't supposed to be able to have kids, and they had her. And Javi, if you got to know Javi, you were blessed. I guess she was the angel I got to experience. And she ended up leaving Westminster in lower school, and I lost touch with her, and then I learned that she had passed away. So that was really first person I knew around me that had passed away, and it was hard. It was really hard for me, especially because I didn't get to see her in her last few months. But Javi was my best friend. I would probably say, since I won't use last names because it was so long ago, you won't necessarily know who these people are, but Javi, Jackson, Hayden, Tyler, and those were my best friends. And Hayden and Tyler, their mom, their parents were divorced, and their mom and my mom got along really well too, so they would always go to the lake with us. And those were really my friends, I guess. So, but they weren't, I don't know, I didn't really have friend groups ever growing up. And by the time it got to be boyfriend, girlfriend, which was closer to 4th, 5th grade, good girl, Bailey. The closer it got to that time, the less I would hang out with the guys, just because it's weird, I don't know. But I would always be like, I have no friends, I don't know. And when I got to like middle school, I was always trying to hang out with someone or trying to be friends with a group, and never quite got there. So I don't know, I was a pretty big loner. One of my friends, I was friends with Emma, and we hung out a lot. Isabel for a little bit, we hung out. But it was kind of like, I would go through phases where I'd hang out with one person for a while, and then, yeah, which it's not that different now. But when this person asked me that, I don't know, it was kind of hard for me because I like didn't really know how to explain how to keep friends, but also I didn't know how to explain like losing them, because it was just so like instinct normal for me to just like, oh, there goes another person that was sort of my friend. And I guess in high school I would do the same thing where I would hang out with one person for a while and then like move on. I know it's kind of like when you get really like into some food and you just eat it every day, and then you get tired of it, you're tired of each other, and then you move on, and next thing you miss, and then you kind of miss that food, so you go back and have it for a little bit. That was basically how my friendships were. I think that the best friendship I've had ever, and the one that like, I saw something today on like Visca or something that was like, or maybe Twitter. It said, hang on, sit down. Thank you. Well, gotta pass this car, okay. I saw something that was like, we're best friends, but that doesn't mean we talk every second, we're always together. But when we are, we're like inseparable kinda, or like we just know each other. I think that's when you know that you're not just going through a phase, is when you don't have to be together every second. Because if you like think back, like there are a lot of friendships you'll go through that you're like, oh, that's my best friend, we hang out all the time, every day, and then you die out. Okay, I hate when people do this to their lawn, but look, it's like bright blue. Like, I don't know if you can see how bright that is. Holy cow. Okay, anyways, I guess, what was I saying? Oh, hang out with friends for a long time. Well, I don't know, I guess you know it's a real friendship, or it's a more in-depth friendship than when, yeah, you go through phases where you hang out all the time, but like you're still talk a lot. I don't know. But my best friend now, I've gone through personal phases where I like have pushed everyone away, but she's always been there. When I was going through a really hard time in California, she was checking in with my mom, which I'm really thankful for. And even like I talked to my mom. I mean, you always have a friend, you're like, oh my gosh, you're gonna be my maid of honor one day. But like my mom and I talk, and my mom's literally like, yeah, Blair's gonna be the one person that is gonna be with you for the rest of your life. And I've always been so scared that like I wasn't gonna have that ever. So I'm really thankful for reaching out to her. It was funny. The first time, I mean, we like knew our families, I don't know. I went to gymnastics where her mom and aunt own it. So like knew each other, but her freshman year, my junior year of volleyball, I was like a big participant on the team, and her and this other girl like brushed up against my butt, and they were like, I just touched that girl's butt, and I turned around and I was like, it's okay, no one else is gonna do it. And it was just funny because we still talk about that. But we're home, baby. I would invest in one of these things, the keypads, because I don't have to carry a key, and it's awesome. No one's, oh, Papa's home. Look at this invention. Look, Papa, look how I walked her today. It kept her closer to me. Okay. Really?
He's saying, slow down, slow down.
Oh my gosh. Have you seen the lawn on the corner? That corner when you like turn that way, that is literally neon blue. With like pesticide.
Oh, yeah.
It was crazy. Yeah. But anyways, do you want to come outside? No? Okay. Come on. I'm outside, so I know you're gonna want to come. No? Okay. But anyways, okay, what's funny is my grandpa put these things up like in his houses. He used to put this like mesh and it wouldn't block the rain, but it hailed the other day and it literally made holes in the whole thing, and his reaction was really funny. But kind of what I was saying is like, it's a real friendship when you go through things, but you're always there at the same time. Like, you're not there, but you're there. But anyways, back to the original thing of this girl asked me, I kind of like responded, and it's something that I know, but I need to adapt it to myself, kind of like take your own advice. I said, like when friendships end, they just like aren't meant to be, or those people aren't the right people. Just like when relationships end, like they're just not the person that is supposed to be in your life, or just at that time they're not supposed to be in your life. So I just said, when friendships end, it's tough. It is. And obviously, like, I'm not perfect advice, but something I've had to realize, especially with losing so many, because I'm like all in or not, like all or nothing kind of friends, where like when I lose a friend, I tweeted this thing the other day because I was thinking about it, and I'm a love hard person, and I'm honestly really glad I am, because like when friendships end or relationships end, there's going to be heartache and disappointment and stuff, but when the right friend comes along or the right person comes along for you, you get to show them like God through your love and through your time commitment. I'm not meaning like love like just like boyfriend or girlfriend. I'm meaning like friends, like any kind of relationship, a mentor. Like I'm a like full in, because I don't want to like risk the line or question a friendship, I guess. I'm just glad that I get to go full in, because one day, I don't know, it's like you always want to give 110% effort. And sometimes you're tired and you just need to chill out, but like at least I gave that effort. I don't know, because then I can't say I didn't try with that friend or I didn't care enough. I don't know. I've never had someone tell me I didn't care enough. I have had people say I care too much, and I'd much rather care too much, I guess. And it's gonna hurt me in the long run, but also like when those right people come along, it's gonna make it so much better. So that's a little side note, but I keep getting distracted from what I answered. But it's really, when you lose friends, they're either not meant to be, or it's just not the right timing. And if they're really meant to be, like, they'll come back. The friendship, the relationship, whatever, will be back And really, like, I think the hardest thing is sometimes you just have to step away from your friends, and not necessarily like in friendships, but you have to be able to like appreciate who you are, know what you feel, what you believe as an individual, alone, without the input of your friends. You have to, like, I think that knowing and defining who you are to yourself, or at least defining that you don't know who you are yet, and being okay with that, or just being able to love who you are and love yourself, and just is really important before you can throw yourself into, or like into these deep friendships and relationships. Like, just like people say, like, before you can be in like a romantic relationship, you have to love yourself before you can love someone else. And yes, that's true, but also, like, I think that you can show love without loving yourself. It's just a lot harder. So, and it hurts, I guess, a lot more. So my advice, if you are wondering this question, is just, for me, I don't have this like burden anymore that I've always held with like anger against friends that I'm not friends with anymore, or relationships that aren't there anymore, or like mentors, or even like, when I say relationships, like, I'm like an adult mentor, like someone you just talk to. Like, it doesn't always have to be a relationship, like romantically, but I just think that it's important to know who you are, or know that you don't know who you are, to love yourself, which doesn't mean you have to be okay with who you are right then, but to love yourself enough to like care for yourself, or to care for what you're doing, and to care for where you end up. Because if I'm just like, I don't care, I'm just gonna go do this because whatever, like, being mindful and being intentional, I think it doesn't mean like living everything like a plan, because I've always been like a plan person. And as I read, which I finished my book, and I'll have to do a vlog on the book, but I finished that book from Bob Goff, Love Does, and you don't have to like live life like a plan. It's more of like, I don't know, I guess I think of it as like life is like a prompt for an essay, and your life is you trying to write it, but it's like a free write, a creative, like, you don't have to follow this planned structure, just go free write. And it's like the brainstorming, and then when you die, you can write your structured format of your life. But right now, like, care enough about yourself to just care. And when you can do that for yourself, you can do that for other people. Just like I think that being able to be safe and healthy starts on the inside, and being able to be comfortable starts on the inside. I always tried to change like my reactions or what I said, but that I need to change how my mind works, and I have done that a ton. And then it like goes into what you do. Just like, I don't know, I can't think of a metaphor for this, but I was thinking of like a car. If you change the engine, then it's gonna drive well. But if you just change the outside, it's still gonna break down. Okay, that works. But yeah, it's like hot, and I'm wearing this like kind of thick shirt, so I'm not trying to look like a badass or anything right now, which I am. Kidding. My grandma is, for real. She is. Okay, that was a dumb remark, but I told you were gonna want to come outside, Bailey. She's staring at me through the door. Yeah, if I just had to give like a few points, I guess, to end this, or the point of this, is that, one, you can't depend on your happiness or your value of yourself, or define yourself based on like other people, which I defined my happiness before I went through this whole process on a relationship or on friends, and kind of like you don't want to rely on attention or likes or social media. You need to be able to be okay with who you are without all of that. Which doesn't mean you don't have to have it. It just means that if you lose one of them, then you're not gonna all of a sudden, who am I, you know? Two, seek, like, I guess two is, in my opinion, love hard. You can't love too much, but you can love too little, or care hard. And like the saying, go hard or go home, or no pain, no gain, kind of like that. And that if a friendship ends, a relationship ends, know that it's gonna hurt right now or whatever, but the right thing at the right time will come along, I guess. I don't know. I'm not very good at like summarizing things, so you just have to watch the whole thing. But yeah. Okay, I'm gonna go shower.